All right, so earlier I was reading through the wonders of cosmology and quantum physics that it states that people don't believe that dark galaxies really do exist, and if they do exist, we haven't found them all yet. And that's really it, though. I mean, if most of the universe, even what we know so far, is mostly made of dark matter, and even that's still hypothetical what it really is, there's a really good chance it would be hard to illuminate those dark galaxies because there's nothing there that gives off. You'd have to look at it completely different, and it's possible that it's just right in front of us, but we're just not seeing it. Because with dark matter, you'd actually have to convert it to like something else, as far as like the visors you're using to even seek it out with these telescopes, and that's why it's always been such a hard idea trying to figure out what it really is, because the one common thing we use is light to see things, and if it doesn't even mix with light at all, then what is it though? So really, if you think about it, in the long run, there will be something out there. There's tons of things in the universe, even if we can't see it, that it's still something. So dark galaxies would have to be out there somewhere. There's just so much out there we don't know, and yet it seems like one or two things pop up every now and again that somebody eventually does discover. It's like the same thing with quasi-stars. Some people might speculate they don't exist because we've never found anything bigger than like hypergiant stars, red hypergiants, I believe. I'd have to double check that. But if you really look into the size of a star, I mean, there could be stuff that's lurking inside luminous galaxies we haven't even discovered yet. Like, just the fact that there's really bright galaxies and how big the mass in the stars are, there's got to be something bigger than Stephenson 218 out there flying around. And there probably will be, because stars gain mass over time so they can get even bigger before they blow up. And before, there's been speculation that stars they don't supernova and they don't black hole at the same time. But over the years, we've kind of discovered that stars eventually do both over time. It's all about the timing of its death and whether it's, what part of it in its gravity collapses on itself and then it explodes, and then the rest of it implodes on itself. But it's very interesting to think, like, if you study physics, if you study quantum physics, you'll start to find like tons of stuff that just seems incomplete. Even Albert Einstein even stated this with science. He just felt like, no matter how many years he put into his work, there's just so much research that we have yet to decipher. And whether that's trying to map out the rest of the universe or map out the rest of everything else, there's a lot more questions than there are answers. So maybe we're just looking in all the wrong places, or maybe we're looking in the right spots, but we just haven't figured out how to make sense of what we already know.